We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Great news. Great news. Our government has screwed up. Screwed up massively. Recession and all that stuff is a real risk now. And if you sleep on this thing, particularly if there is a reason for the Fed to cut rates right now, like this most likely terrible payroll number that's coming out, the jobs number on Friday, Bitcoin could smoke to the upside. Smoke. So if you want to hear all the news about like how governments have screwed up, how to trade it, why the market doesn't go down, noticing crypto just like sits kind of like in the green, not huge in the green, but it just sits there. Yeah, there's no seller in this market. There's no seller. There's no seller in anything. AI, altcoins. I mean, the stuff I'm doing with ChatGPT alone. Oh my God. There's no way this doesn't get traded in crypto. Even if the way AI gets traded in crypto might be a little stupid, but I don't think so. Because I think the next AI rally in crypto is just going to be epic. Just a question of like, there's like, artificial super intelligence token, fetch, render, Tau, and then it's just a question of finding everything else. Fetch, render, and Tau may be the new Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I mean, because again, the government has screwed up here. And you know what? They're putting people on the tape today to do damage control before the numbers come out. They're already on it. So again, you wanted the government to moon your bags. Guess what? They're going to. They're going to. Okay, but we'll go into it. We'll get into the details. We'll also get into like one historical thing I got. Normally I save these things for other groups. This thing's just so radical. I had to throw it out there. All right, Roby, Crypto Scam 1, what's up? Tyler Hall, DH, Miguel, Ben from Australia. Good evening, sir. SG, the original Taz Pinball. Okay. 100-day mark for the Orange Man is today. The only way to break inflation is to create a recession. And that may be what happens here. Bitcoin has never seen a recession. And my guess is this decoupling thing is about to get radical. Shelly, Jav, Anis, Warmon. Big question is, will you get one final dip? That's too good to be true. It's too good to be true, but you never know. Okay, news. Let's go. Oh, Canada. So the Orange Man, apparently by screwing up and talking about Canada becoming a state, has got everybody over there voting for the Trudeau sequel. So they would rather have thought crime than the Orange Man. Can you blame them? Probably not. Probably not. Canadians are so upset that the guy who runs the Conservative Party over there, the guy who was the candidate, not only did he lose, even though his party did okay, but not only did he lose, he lost his seat in their parliament or Congress. Whoops. Whoops. Okay. So definitely the Orange Man screwed up on that. Definitely. I mean, it's like Canada as the 51st state. It would be a giant, it would have been a giant blue state. So yeah, I don't know what that was about. They had a shot at a non-Trudeau person, but Canada's a bunch of hockey players. Got to remember that. Doesn't matter whether they're liberal or not. You mess with Canadians, they drop the gloves and they're going to punch you. That's it. That's it. Okay. So it's too late. The changes are coming. Ray Dalio pumping up the apocalypse. Okay. So we're on the brink of a change in the monetary order. The domestic and political international world order is breaking down due to unsustainable bad fundamentals that can be easily seen and measured. Right. Now watch this. I didn't try this, but let's try it. Let's search for Bitcoin in this article. look, it's not there. See, these guys, they're addicted. I mean, of course, they get all kinds of press with this, right? It's you get less press if you go, well, everything's changing and Bitcoin's going to smoke to 120. But it's like, oh, it's too late. It's over. Oh, my God. Wrong. The resolution to this problem is crypto massively higher. Equities, okay, yeah, maybe equities are in a range. Maybe equities are going to go down. You may see the Fed on this payroll number. You might. There's a history of the Fed cutting rates on numbers, not necessarily at meetings. I mean, Powell may have to come in if it's bad and just cut rates that day. Because having to listen to the orange man up until a meeting is not going to work. I don't think. So we'll see. Okay, so London, I got another graphic on this. People with money are exiting. I mean, in droves. I mean, I remember when I went to London. I'm sure it's still a great place, but the fact that people with money have to flee because they're doing like George Orwell, 1984 over there. People, privacy, right? The millionaires can leave. What about everybody else? What are they going to do? Okay, when macro turns darker than markets, meaning, Ray Dalio and all these guys are just bearish. I mean, they are mega bearish. The sharpest decline in the earnings outlook since 2020. So people are just saying corporations are going to earn less money. It's all over. CEO confidence plummeting. Capital spending plummeting. Negative is our new normal, meaning economic surprises are surprising on the downside. Stagflation is a concern. It's a cough, cold, and flu shock. Okay, ready? It's nowhere in the article. It's not an article. So it's like macro. Oh my God, it's all over. No mention of Bitcoin. None. What does that tell you? That means when it happens, everyone's going to just get caught. Everyone's going to get caught. Okay, Howard Lutnick, excuse that, to appear on CNBC tomorrow. Now, why is that happening? Why do they have Lutnick and all these guys? I think Besant is also going to be on the tape. Why are they on the tape now? You know why? Because that unemployment number on Friday is going to be horrendous. It's going to reflect the government layoffs. It's going to reflect what the tech companies have been doing. If that number is honest, it's going to be awful. And they're already trying to do damage control now. Solomon, this is Goldman's CEO, right? Video's not there. Solomon warns that layoffs are likely to rise as corporate executives prioritize expense management, even though he thinks markets will be stable. Unfortunately, when you break inflation, you create, there's dual mandate for the Fed, supposedly. Inflation, unemployment. You break inflation on purpose or otherwise. Look at this. 20,000 people on Amazon pullback, whatever that means. That means Amazon's doing their deliveries. People are buying less stuff, whatever. I mean, UPS is one of the top rated brands worldwide. 20,000 people. Whoosh. Right. They're just letting people go. I think what's happening is they're just letting people go. They don't care. I don't know. It's not drivers. It may be corporate people. I didn't go into the details. But I think what some of these companies are assuming is that they can let people go and fill it in with AI agents later. That could be what's happening. In other words, everyone's waiting for, good morning, my name is Skynet, and I'm here to take your job. You are fired. That may not be what's happening. They may be just letting people go, and then, as you said, we'll try to fill it in later. because people are definitely panicking over this whole tariff thing. Right? And if they're panicking over this tariff thing, you're going to see Bessent and Powell have to push money in the system, regardless of whether Powell cuts rates or not. Okay, so the orange man has kind of got egg on his face here. Today is 100 days into the administration. He's digging in deeper on these tariffs. It's going to be a bonanza for America. The External Revenue Service is happening. Right. It sounds awesome. Sounds terrific. Except here's the port of Los Angeles. Empty. Supposedly, according to like one of the guys that have been following RealFly, like all the shipping traffic, they just told it to turn around. They just told it to turn around. Risk of global recession, tariff shock wave, Reuters poll, again, was blowing it off. General Motors suspends guidance, freezes share buyback. In other words, I'm sensing either a problem or like a global rebellion against whatever the orange man wants to do here. Either way, it's not good. And either way, it's bringing in lower rates. I mean, this is looking more and more and more like a catastrophic screw up to the point where this is Rand Paul, who's like a conservative libertarian senator who says the Senate has enough votes to come in and block whatever the orange man wants to do on tariffs. Right? I mean, like, no joke. And then if you look, you look at this TikTok piece that RealFly is retweeting, this is what shipping normally looks like, or that's what it did look like pre-tariffs. That's what it looks like now. You have a total freeze in whatever's happening. And if you have a freeze in economic activity, Bessent has to come in. They have to. Now, how much volatility are you going to get in Bitcoin and alts? If there's volatility in equities in early May, you may get it. And you know what? That's great. That's great. There's some guys saying, hey, you're going to get 70s in Bitcoin. I mean, I don't see that. But if you did, that would be Christmas because it would turn around. It would be like a V bottom. It would be like spike and then gone. Right? Everybody's talking about the end of the world. No one's talking about Bitcoin. Can you believe it? It's unbelievable. Okay, auto tariffs deal reached. I don't know. They keep saying they're doing a deal, and everyone's on the tape saying there's no deal. So, I mean, they got to figure this out. They got to figure this out. Okay. The high cost of the Fed's mission creep. Guess what? This article says the Fed is not independent. It's not. Right? They basically control everything. They do. And the only way they're ever going to lose control is if Bitcoin takes it from them. Right? They're going to like, oh, yeah, we like crypto, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we want to end the Fed, blah, 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 blah. You know who ends the Fed? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and you ready for a laugh? XRP. Right? When they just go, you know what? We're going outside this system. We're going outside the system. Right? I mean, this is like way before my day, but like, you know, the guy who crushed inflation last time, he commented that the Fed went to the very edge of its lawful and implied power, transcending long embedded central banks' principles and practices. We took that as a brushback pitch, high and tight, from a strong institutional ally to his successors. But Volcker's warning has gone largely unheeded. The Fed assumed a more expansive role inside our government on all matters of economic policy. Yeah, man, they control everything, right? They waited too long on inflation. Then they massively over-tightened, blew up every bank balance sheet, and now they're sitting here telling you that they can't tighten. I mean, Powell's like, well, we have to worry about inflation. And I guess if there's like massive shortages, maybe they have to, but the port's empty, bro. It's empty, right? This is like catastrophic layoffs. This is just everybody. So, of course, the Fed is not ahead of that game, but they may have to get with it off this payroll number, right? And that's why I think any volatility in this market, you're down there. It was like buying it with both hands. And this includes altcoins. This is not just Bitcoin anymore because altcoins have a bid. Altcoins are fine. I mean, the way it trades, AI has a bid to it. Bitcoin Cash is up. You know what I'm saying? It's like random stuff. Moving. Arizona passes bill to establish Bitcoin reserve. You know, this tariff thing is going to scare everybody into Bitcoin. They're going to scare everybody in. Everyone's going to be like, oh my God, I have to buy it. They're not going to care if it's over 100. They're going to want it more if it's over 100. I'm serious, right? They're going to be like, oh my God, the train's really leaving. I mean, look at all this news. I mean, do you think this is like, you know, people, this is like lost on people that run corporations? Okay. So, you know, being perma bullish Bitcoin doesn't make sense. Okay. You know, gold has validated the place of Bitcoin, I think. Okay. Bitcoin's asymmetric upside is tied to a network-driven approach. In my mind, that means the more people that want it, the more people that use it, the more people that buy it, the more people buy it. Which is why I say that, you know, Bitcoin over 100 is more appealing than Bitcoin at 94. The more people that use it, the more people that buy it, the more people are going to buy it. The network effect. Secret deals, foreign investments, the rise of the Trump crypto firm, says the New York Times. Okay. So they're going to be after him on everything. They don't mind enraging the left. Right up until the point they lose the midterm elections and he gets impeached over this stuff. Somebody was writing about that this morning. Of course, that's 2 years away. That's way away. But they're bleeding political capital here. They're bleeding political capital. Okay. Oh my God, look at this. Twin goals for the Ethereum Foundation. You know what? Sometimes all you have to do is talk turnaround and you can get it going. I mean, oh my God. Okay, AI versus human performance. I have been using ChatGPT to do GAN work. Oh my God. Oh my God. I stuck a whole bunch of books into this thing. And it was just like, yeah, let's talk about this, this, and this. And then it just started asking me if I wanted stuff to complete my analysis. And it was just like, done. This is like a total freak show with this stuff. This is going to be like Star Trek in the future. You know, computer, give me scrambled eggs and toast. Boom. It comes out of the replicator. That's the good news. Hopefully it doesn't turn into the Terminator. But I mean, the thing is has not been traded in crypto. In crypto, it's like, it's an AI coin. Boom, they dump on your head. Now it's like people could be coming in and going, okay, what in this space is actually real? Fetch, Render, and Tau come to mind. But the thing is, anything else that comes out, and I still think you're going to have an AI agent ICO season. Okay, MicroStrategy is synthetically having Bitcoin. Michael Saylor is getting very popular. He is becoming very cool. This guy has been on the tape on CNBC. He is just like, he's like explaining it to people to the point where it's like they almost got to like prop him up in his chair because he can't say it one more time. Guess what? The guy's pulling the supply of Bitcoin off the market. He's probably buying everything that the Chinese are selling. There's just no end to it. Right. And then everyone else like Lutnick is going to start doing it too. MasterCard's doing stable coins. Stable coins could put them out of business. MSTR 2100. I think this trade's on base now. A little bit of a bid here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always thought like all the boomers love this stuff, right? This is moving. This is moving. If MicroStrategy goes to 600, this is going back to $3. And of course, we've talked about how a lot of meme coins look like this. Look at his volume, right? His volume coming into this thing. So, you know, yeah, guys who are alive, guys who are into Bitcoin, Guys who are dead, hanging tough. Privacy, right? Millionaires leaving England. Sovereigns, thought crime in Canada. People got, like they voted for Labor in England and they got George Orwell, 1984. Like they just went right out of the gate and just was like, yeah, okay, we're running 1984 in this country. Guy from Canada is going to do the exact same thing. He's going to go Trudeau and then some. Watch. It's going to happen. Antivirus is the new money. Like it. Okay. Federal court permanently blocks U.S. Treasury from reimposing sanctions on Tornado Cash, a major win for crypto privacy. Antivirus has a token burn attached to similar Tornado Cash functionality. And even if no one likes that, they will, because we got other things that onboard the general public, like private email, for example. When the reality hits on this, forget about it. People are sleeping on Bitcoin. They're sleeping on AI. They're definitely sleeping on this. They're sleeping on all of it. Right? McAfee cooking up something good. Okay, we also have Porsche raising prices from the Eagle King, right? This thing is probably going to blow up in their face. Probably. And whether they unwind the whole tariff thing or not, they may wind up losing a lot of political capital. And then, like I've been saying, they may have to pivot back towards Bitcoin, right? In other words, Bitcoin and stimulus checks to save all the industries that are going to get wrecked by the tariffs. Like rumor has it, like farmers are already getting wrecked. Farmers are already getting wrecked, and there's going to have to be stimulus checks for farmers, right? Because a leading agricultural group, massive financial losses, canceled orders, China stopped buying products from pork to lumber. No one can replace the volume China buys. So how's this trade? How are governments doing here? Yeah, they're doing great. They're doing great. It's a disaster. It really is. It's a disaster. Okay. Meanwhile, Bitcoin Cash pressing the 200-day moving average. To me, that says something. Okay. Stocks, stonks, down. Okay. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. Oh, my God. It's almost like these guys are begging for trouble. They're begging for trouble on this. Like Junior has an executive club with a $500,000 fee. I don't know, man. I mean, there's changing the subject, and then there's being stupid. There's being stupid. Okay, AI coins. Okay, this is VAIOT coming off the lows. It's just an example. A lot of this stuff is still coming out of its discount zone on the AI front. Meanwhile, in equities, right? This may not be a good thing in NASDAQ. The fact that it's like stalled out like this. Same thing in S&P. Okay, there's a trend line here, right? There's a couple of Lux Algo trend lines right there where it is. If they come back down here and fill this gap, that may give you the dip in Bitcoin. You got to get all over this. All over this. MicroStrategy. Dip all the way back. Can't be stopped. Hedge funds, short. I don't care what stocks are going to do. This thing's going to smoke to the upside. This could be the decoupling. And if stocks don't go down, or if they, pivot dovish, or, the payroll number makes it obvious that they screwed up on rates or whatever. I mean, that would actually be the ultimate, now that I talk it out, right? Is that, Powell is so dug in on whatever Powell is dug in on, if the payroll number is horrendous, you know, the orange man's going to go crazy and you're going to have bickering, and that's just Bitcoin to the upside. Just gone, right? Bitcoin ETF. Lux Algo putting support underneath the rally. I mean, the thing that's got the most room to go up, I think, is this ETF. Right? You got 15% upside here. And if this is up 15%, you are going to have altcoins smoking higher. You also have to keep the dollar in mind headed into this payroll number. Notice the dollar broke out of this channel and can't get back in. Now, I know it's at the discount zone, but it can go back inside the discount zone. And if you look at the dollar index, like on a weekly chart or maybe a 2-week chart, okay, Lux Algo, like, you know, put resistance in the dollar index on a longer term time frame at 100. So if it can't get back above 100, this is the 200, period moving average. Next stop in the dollar is 93. And you know what? If the dollar can't go down, it's all the more reason for Bitcoin to smoke higher, right? Because if you go back to the daily chart again, or even the weekly chart, it's on the discount zone, right? So maybe the dollar doesn't go lower, and maybe it's gold and Bitcoin, or maybe it's just Bitcoin and ETH and the whole market, right? Because, they can't really get much of a downtick in anything. It just sits there. Now, that's boring, but, what happens if it just takes off? And the thing that may just take off is XRP, right? It's at equilibrium. I don't know, man. I'm not seeing any particular reason to get off the crypto boat, because all these macro guys who are apocalyptically bearish are not talking about Bitcoin at all. I mean, I don't even know how that's possible. I know how it's possible because, they have to be right. They have to be right, right? They have to be smart, because that's the game in macro, right? Like, I'm smarter than you. I see it before you. I'm more apocalyptically bearish than you, right? When you have Bitcoin up at the end of the month, when you have a sharp ramp in Bitcoin during any one particular month, right? Momo hedge funds buy it at the end of the month and in the first week of the next month. Yeah, you got to watch out for that on a historical basis. Bitcoin, right? 9 top, doesn't move. This is your down tick. This is your down tick right here. This is it. It's not happening. It's not. I mean, it might. Ethereum unchanged for the month. We talked about this. That's more substantial than you think. And Ethereum has a creeping bid to it. This 13 bottom was never confirmed. You get 4 or 5 up days in a row where Ethereum is just kind of off. There's nobody in the way here up until 3,000. There's nothing there. What's there? Nothing. There's nothing there. So, I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine ETH at 3,000? What does the rest of the market look like? I mean, now, and the question you have to ask yourself is it worth taking a shot with that being the case? Especially if there's volatility off the payroll number, right? I mean, Kobe is here. Stefan, welcome. I mean, Jav is here. Hello. What? I don't know what the administration has been thinking, but whatever it is they're thinking, okay, look at this. Here comes the elimination of Elon's excuse. You want to talk about a guy that has screwed up? Ooh. Elon has disappeared. I think in some ways he disappeared because he became a liability to the orange man with this whole Tesla thing. And of course, they're also noting Rand Paul, they never saved any money. They got a spending package before Congress to add another $5 trillion to the debt. Sustainable energy in Bitcoin mining jumps to 52% from its 2022 estimation of 37%. So I'm just kind of wondering what Elon's excuse to not buy Bitcoin is. And all these big tech companies want to act like they don't have to do it. They have to do it. They have to do it. Like, because, you know, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to generate earnings without Bitcoin. Baby Bonk is trending on Twitter. I have no idea what Baby Bonk is, but whatever it is, meme coins may be back. Let's just type in the contract address here. I don't know. You just flipped the game. Baby Bonk. Let me see if I can put the contract address in and check out what this is. Let me see if I get it. I can call it up. Okay. Down 64% today. I don't know, man. They want it. Look, when this meme thing comes back, I think it's going to be AI based. Farcoin at $1 billion is telling you, okay, what's the sum? Don't sleep on this market. Don't sleep on altcoins. They give you a dip. Algorithms sell off the payroll number. Just take it from them. The nastier the dip, the better. And you may not get it. See, that's where people may be waiting for the dip. And if they don't get the dip, you're going to have FOMO. You're just going to have indiscriminate FOMO. So pay attention. Stay on your game. We'll see you tomorrow.